Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to the Aha Moments Radio Show for the inspiration, education, and celebration of enlightened living worldwide with your host, Mariana Cooper, founder of Aha Moments International and AhaMomentsWorld.com. Tune in for the next hour and learn to trust your aha moments to lead the way to live a passionate and purposeful life. And now here's your host, Mari.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Aha Moments Radio Show for the inspiration, education, and celebration of enlightened living worldwide. I'm Mari, and happy Tuesday. We have so much to talk about today. I don't know how we're going to get through it all in an hour. There's just so much going on. I always get really tired the last few days before the new moon. And I always forget that it's the last few days before the new moon. And I don't know why I'm so tired, why I can't think of what I want to do next. And so I finally woke up this morning and I said, okay, Angels, we have a show today. We should have announced this on Sunday. What are we talking about? And I literally had to go into meditation like 4 in the morning to sort this out because the energy is just so wonky. And tonight we were talking first about our AHA energy check. We have a super new moon tonight, and then we also have Mercury in retrograde starting. Tomorrow we're already in the shadows of it, which happens several days before it actually goes into the retrograde phase. And so that will be from tomorrow, the 21st of January, through February 11th. So we're going to talk about that in a couple of seconds. And then we are going to talk about a brand new class that we're launching starting tomorrow. And so the class doesn't start tomorrow, it starts next week, but we're launching it tonight. And we are also going to be talking about opening your mind to receive, because we have this conversation fairly often. There's lots and lots of asking going on. There's lots of wondering going on. When is that job going to come? When am I going to get the boyfriend of my dreams or the husband? Or when am I going to get the money or whatever it is that you're looking for? And a lot of times those delays have to do with your own energy and your own mind more so than, the big, God in the sky overlooking you because he's working on somebody else. So, the sentence that just came into my head was, God is not like Santa Claus where you have to be good in order to get your stuff. It's really more your own energy and how open you are to receive what you're asking for. Now, obviously, we know there's other things that go into it, but this is a huge one. So we're going to talk about the top three things that it really takes to receive what you're looking for. And then we are going to do some reading. So you are already lined up in the reading department, I can see, because I see Sam going in and chatting with you. The number to call in, if you don't have it, is 347-215-9485. That's 347-215-9485. And I just also want to say that our show today is being sponsored by Soul Life Times Magazine. If you have not seen my cover article this month, you want to go to SoulLifetimes.com and take a look and sign up for the magazine. It's free and it's online and it's terrific. So go and do that. I'm very happy to have them as our media partner going forward for this year, so that's exciting. And, okay, so 347-215-9485 for the readings, and off we go into the contents for tonight because we have a lot to cover in a little bit of time. The AHA energy check, let's talk about this because, okay, we've had many conversations about Mercury in retrograde on this show. So you guys know already that when we have this phase, this Mercury in retrograde, it happens 3 times a year. It is a time where it's about 3 weeks each time that it happens, and it's a time where you should really refrain from making major purchases of electronics in particular, cars and the like, preferably not signing contracts, not having kind of like elective surgery, not trying to have the, what are we conversation with the boyfriend, not having the first kiss during the Mercury retrograde if you want the relationship to stick, these types of things. Now, is it set in stone? No. It really has a lot to do with where your own energy is at, okay? However, is it real? Yes. Is it an aspect that can affect things? Yes. It is a phase where the planet Mercury gives the appearance of going retrograde, but the energy really slows down, and it's notorious for garbled communications, having to do things twice, especially in the contract and major purchases area. And it's just a time of, where things kind of Murphy's Law takes hold. So you might feel kind of tired and frustrated because there's all kinds of, little mishaps that can potentially happen. Checks that you expect may not show up on time, all those kinds of things. Now, the good thing about Mercury retrograde, which is very different than other times of the year when you are having things go wrong in your world, is that usually the solution comes right up behind the mishap. Just is the nature of the beast. So, if you are listening and you're feeling worried, don't worry too much, because when something, kind of goes awry, just get quiet and focus, and you will find that it will work itself out very quickly if you focus. If you panic and you try to ignore it or whatever, you'll find that things kind of topple like a domino effect. So it's just better to kind of get quiet, take a nice little, nice deep breath, and focus. And the solution will come up. Now, we also have a new moon today. Now, this is what's making it different than normal. We have a super new moon tonight. So what does that mean? That means that now we have a dark moon, meaning there's no moonlight today, but it's extremely powerful because we're going into what's called a waxing moon phase. And the waxing moon phase is a time of acquisition. It's a time of manifestation. It's a time of flow. This is really good to have at the start of a Mercury retrograde, because remember, Mercury retrograde is for 3 weeks. New moon energy, waxing moon energy, is for 2 full weeks until we get to the full moon. That's that half of this moon cycle, moon phase. So now we have 2 weeks of the moon energy working in our favor. Our time of manifesting and pulling in and flow continue. It might slow down a bit with the Mercury retrograde, but you have another aspect that balances out that Mercury retrograde energy, which is terrific. Because normally, not normally, but many, many times we have started Mercury retrograde and we're in a waning moon and, full moon going into a waning moon, and then you have ebb and ebb and ebb all the way across the board. You have all that energy pulling out. It feels like a big concrete block has been dropped on your head and nothing moves. In this particular Mercury retrograde, because we have that waxing moon aspect for the first 2 weeks of the 3-week period, you're going to have a softer, feel. Okay, that's what the potential is. So I wouldn't get too, gloomy about it. I would just focus on all the good things you can do during the retrograde. Continue on your merry way, and just know that it's not going to be as bad as some of the other ones can be or have been. Now, what's good to do during Mercury retrograde? Well, it's a wonderful time for clearing. It is the time for clearing, for cleaning out, doing your major cleaning. And I'm talking about the 4 different types of clutter. You want to do your physical clearing, so you want to do your your closets, your garage. This is a great time for the basements, the garages, the attics to be cleaned out. Don't wait for the spring. Why wait for the spring? Let the spring be new birth. Give the spring its chance to just, deliver. And if you clean out now, you're going to get a head start on that energy and having a receptive, feel for the good stuff to happen, after the retrograde lifts. The other thing you can do is start a diet and clearing yourself physically. Okay, so you have your physical environment, you have your physical body, any kind of, diet, exercise programs, taking your supplements, all that kind of thing. Really good to start during a Mercury in retrograde time. Letting go of any kind of mental clutter, any kind of emotional stuff. Okay, so there's physical, there's emotional, there's mental, and there's energetic clutter. Okay, this is the clearing that we're talking about. And so when you can clean out in any of those 4 categories, in retrograde is the time to do it. So as I was thinking about what next, we've been talking a lot about channeling. We've had our Open to New Channel 1 and 2. We've had our Crystal Camp 1, 2, and 3 with Allison Hayes. And I was really contemplating and working with my own guides of what would benefit our AHA community the most right now, which is what I ask when it comes to, what's the next thing that we're going to be doing. And what came up, or 2 things. Well, and the one is a new course. Now, this class is a real cornerstone. It's going to be one of our timeless classes, a real cornerstone for your AHA toolkit, and it's called Clearing to Create. Clearing to Create. And the subtitle is How to Manage and Master Your Energy to Thrive, Not Just Survive. Because a lot of times what we do is we work on this manifesting stuff, and people talk about law of attraction, all that, using your imagination to manifest and all that. But what happens is, because we don't have a very regular, personal, energetic hygiene, meaning a personal routine that we use to clear our energy, we start to use our manifesting almost like a magic trick. We kind of hope that it'll work, and I'm going to put this out there, and I'm going to try this little thing, and I'm going to try that little thing, and we dibble and we dabble, but we don't enforce a full system. Now, even if you do enforce a full system of manifesting work where you're, working on it every day, meditations and whatnot, if you don't have a regular practice of energetic hygiene, your stuff will come and hit or miss or not at all. This energetic hygiene is equivalent to the physical hygiene that you have, your physical hygienic routine that you have for your body. So you brush your teeth every single day, you're washing your hair, you're taking showers, you're doing your exercise, all those different things that you do to keep your body in good shape and to keep your body, moving along without pain and without blocks and all that stuff, and keep yourself smelling good and looking good and all that good stuff. The same way that you care for your physical body, you have an entire energetic system that needs the same level of care. Now, sometimes it's a little bit easier because a lot of it's intangible, but there is an intention and a focus that should be placed on your energetic clearing and the various types of clearing, in order for all of this to flow. So your intuition gets better, your ability to, channel your guides or to communicate with your guides gets better. Your ability to notice signs and symbols and synchronicities goes way up when your energy is clear. Your ability to meet people and be in the right place at the right time and have the right response from people goes way up when your energy is clear. So it's very, very, very key. It's a true anchor in your own personal navigation of this physical lifetime on this planet to have good energetic hygiene rituals and routines for yourself. Now, everybody's will be a little different, just like we all use, different toothpaste, mouthwash. Some people use baby powder, some people don't, all those kinds of things. you will be able to mix and match what for your own personal routine. But this class that we'll be doing will be covering all of the different pieces that you want to incorporate. It's going to demystify a lot of the things that people get confused about, and it's going to help you to create with a lot more ease and receive with a lot more ease, because you're not going to be going through the obstacles and clutter that are often unseen to the naked eye. So this class is going to start next week. It's 4 weeks. It's 4 sessions. We're starting on Wednesday of next week. That's January 28th. We'll be going through February 18th or so with the class. And each week we're going to go through the different types of, clutter and that type of thing. But each week we're going to have a guided meditation. So we're going to be clearing as we go and releasing the big blocks. It's kind of like going to the dentist and getting the professional cleaning. And we'll be doing that in the class. And then we will be doing I'll be teaching you how to brush your teeth and floss and all that kind of stuff from the energetic side. You'll be learning the different skills you need for your own ongoing energetic hygiene while you're getting the professional level clearing in the class. I think it's a really great combination. Very excited about it. And we do have a coupon code. Let me give you the site. You can look at that and register, because we are starting in a week. It's the perfect time to do this class because we have Mercury and Retrograde working in our favor. So when we're doing these clearings, it's going to be much better than other times of the year, and much more potent energy to release anything that's hidden, et cetera, et cetera. So the site is ahamomentsworld.com, so our regular website, ahamomentsworld.com/clear to create. So ClearTocreate, clear to create. So it's ahamomentsworld.com/clear to create. Now, if you use the coupon code, which is Energy10, you will save $50 if you are one of the first 10 people to register. So it's Energy10, and it's $50 off of the first 10 people who register. Okay, so that's, first come, first serve, first 10 people. We have a very short turnaround, so that'll probably happen pretty quickly. But that will give you a nice, like I said, a very powerful time, just energetically, with the planets are working in your favor for this clearing. So I'm looking forward to this class, and it's something that you will be able to develop as you go and, mix and match as things, ebb and flow in your life. We will also be talking in this class a lot about dealing with toxic people, toxic situations, some pretty deep clearings in that area, in that regard. So I know that's a big topic with everybody, and we're going to go really, roll up our sleeves and dive deep into that. Okay, so that's that. That's Clearing to Create. So now, let's get a little into our topic of tonight, which is Open to Receive. I see a lot of you already on the line, so hang in there. We're going to start some of our content, and then we'll take a quick break, and then we'll get started with some readings. In addition to the clearing, okay, so we have the clearing the way, which we just talked about, the energetic hygiene. That was key number 1 to being open to receive. That is absolutely the top of the list, because when you're arguing with this one, you're not talking to that one. Your closets are cluttered, your garage is cluttered, your house, your car is cluttered, your bedroom is cluttered. You were going to do the laundry, but you didn't get to it. These papers are piled up when you go to your desk; they're falling over. And then you're feeling like you're eating so much sugar and caffeine because you're stressed out because of the clutter and the people that you're not talking to. And then and it goes on and on, right? And then you're worried about spinning. Is the job going to work? And then you have mental situations at the job where, people are all the office politics and all this. And you're not doing any energetic hygiene? I mean, seriously? I'm stressed out just talking about it. And then you try to manifest on top of that. You call me and you say, all right, what's going to happen to me now? Is he going to call? Am I going to get this? Am I going to get that? And you have all of that spin going on in your world. What that does is it creates this magnetic effect. And all the good stuff that you want, it can't really override what your natural screensaver is. This is what I call it. I call your natural default. Where does your mood, where does your energy naturally rest? So when your computer kind of goes to sleep mode and it just idles, and your screensaver comes up. What screensaver is your screensaver? Is it kind of like you idle on pessimistic and kind of down and stressy and tense and, just telling everybody how you hurt and how this isn't going right for you and that isn't going right for you and your foot hurts and your back hurts and you Are you going, is that kind of like your natural default? And then you hope that somehow some like meteorite of positivity is going to drop down into your world and just make it all better? Or are you idling pretty much on kind of a neutral zone and then you kind of allow what's happening in front of you to dictate your mood? Like if something happy happens and you get happy and something sad happens and you get sad? That's kind of not a great place to be either, because then you're giving all of your power away to something outside of you, to environmental situations. And it doesn't give you your own core connection to your own personal energy and your own anchor. Okay, and then there's the people who are kind of down the path a bit and are idling more in an optimistic way and a more deliberate way and a more of a creating way. Creation, they recognize that their energy is actually creating everything in their environment. Their energy is creating how people are relating to them. Their energy is creating how much compassion is coming their way. Your energy is dictating who's going to let you in the parking lot on when you're trying to get out of the grocery store and there's a lot of traffic, and who's going to let you into the lane. Your energy dictates all of these things. It's always from the inside out. It's not from the outside in. And most people, I would say most, because I know a lot of people, especially in this show, you're more advanced, but, it's very typical to not be, present, okay, if you will. It's very typical to allow your environment to dictate things. If you were watching a whole lot of news, like I have, my personal friends, my professional friends laugh at me, but my personal friends know I have this I guess you could call it a guilty pleasure, but I don't really have guilt around it, but I'll say it like that because it makes everybody else feel better, because I love reality TV. So they're like, how do you do so much spiritual stuff and you love watching The Housewives? But I really do, because it's just like mindless and it's fun. And I actually like, because they're all entrepreneurs, and it's kind of inspiring to see what they're doing. But I noticed that I cannot watch any of those Housewives in my bed, in my room, before I go to sleep, because it's going to sleep, or any of those reality shows, because you go to sleep on, catfighting and drama and, dirty energy, right? But it's fun, it's mindless, it's kind of a way that I kind of shut down all of the benevolence and just kind of rest my brain. And I love pop culture. I have this thing about pop culture. I think a lot of that is because I'm thinking about doing a whole new show series on like spirituality and pop culture mixed somehow, some way, like all this, like the spiritual practices of celebrities or something like that. Because I really do think that there's a way to have both, where you can have material things and have a level of a high level of consciousness. And actually, you do see that a lot with the Housewives, because a lot of them are extremely spiritual and they do a lot of interesting things. But, I don't want to digress too much into that, because that's a whole other show and probably a whole other series. But in any event, I have found that for my own personal energetic hygiene, it is best, because your sleep state is so important for your manifesting and for all of your different creation activities, that you do, protect that space, and you don't want to have negativity, fighting and all that right before you go to sleep. So I've learned that about myself. But that's just one of many different ways many different practices that you can employ, and little habit structures that you can employ, so that your energy is always ripe for receiving. And that's what we want. We want your energy to be ripe and ready and waiting. We want your field to be nice and clean and clear, so that you can be ready for those opportunities. Opportunities always come around more than once. So if you miss it once because you were not ready, believe me, I've had this experience in all my many years on this planet. It always comes around again. Ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, opportunities that you thought were lost forever. There's certain ones that will always come back around, and you'll want to be ready for them. And the best way to be ready for whether it's brand new or a longing for something to give you another try, for a second chance. Maybe we'll do a show on that, second chance. Your energy needs to be ready. The less cluttered you are, the more opportunity across all layers of your life can show up, and that's what I really want for you. So that's part one of Vote to Receive. Part two is worthiness and feeling that you deserve it. Now this is super important, because a lot of us feel like if we're not making someone else happy, we're not worthy of receiving what we're looking for, and that's just not true. We're worthy by just showing up. People think they have to earn it by giving away. People say, well, if I won the lottery, I would just give it all away to charity, so that's why I should win. And you know what? Really, it's nice to give it away to charity, some to charity, of course, but you're worth receiving it. And it's important to be willing and able to receive what it is you're asking for. And that worthiness piece is one that really gets in people's way, and it can be very hidden. It shows up, unworthiness shows up in a lot of different ways. A lot of times people try to live up to their parents' dreams for them, and then they realize that it just wasn't, it didn't work out. I've seen so many people. I was a career coach for a long time, and I saw so many people, especially in corporate America, and the bigger, those professions like, like doctors, lawyers, these types of things. And when people get into the profession, they went all the way through all the schooling, they got into the job, and they absolutely were bitterly miserable. And when I talked to them in the private coaching sessions I would do, 9 times out of 10 it was they were trying to do a career because someone else had an expectation of them. And then they were coming up against hating the career and feeling extremely drained and exhausted, but then in addition to that, feeling really, really down on themselves and very ashamed and, unworthy of the bigger things that they really wanted for themselves because it wasn't meeting somebody else's agenda. So letting go of other people's agendas and doing it for you will really clear the way for receptivity. The third one is taking regular action based on inspiration and not just what your mental mind is spinning around telling you to do. So when you are on the right track, like I've gotten really good at this. One of the reasons why, you guys saw this email for this show came out, just a few hours ago today. A lot of times you'll see it come out on, sometimes I'm in a really good place with the guides. It might come out on Saturday. Most of the times it comes out on Sunday or Monday, and then we do a reminder on Tuesday. Today all of it came out on Tuesday. Why was that? Was my mental mind all weekend thinking, you really should get something up for the radio show on Tuesday? Yeah, but was I getting the topic that was really going to plug in and resonate for today? No, was not getting it. Just wasn't. I wasn't feeling the inspiration for it. I wasn't feeling the lift of energy. I wasn't feeling the clarity. I wasn't getting the download of the copy that I'd write in the email. I wasn't getting the title. I wasn't getting any of it. I just knew we were doing a show, but I didn't get it until today. And I finally sat down from the computer. It's like, now we start in a few hours, and then it flows, So and now it feels very spot on for the energy. Now, why is that? Why would that happen? The Mercury in retrograde / new moon energy is a big reason why. See, because even though the retrograde officially starts tomorrow, we've been in the shadow of it for like the last 5 days. And then on top of that, we have the new moon, which means there's no moonlight. I'm happen to be very moon sensitive, so the less and less moonlight, the tireder and tireder I get. By the time we get to the new moon and there's virtually no moonlight those last 3 or 4 days, I'm no good. My creativity, everything. That's my cycle. That's my personal cycle. Other people don't have that. So, when we do our Clearing to Create class, we're going to talk all about how to sort out what is your personal cycle. And then when you do, now I didn't panic. I wasn't calling Sam and saying, oh my God. You know, he's used to me, you know. He's like, okay, what are we doing today? And I'm like, okay, we're doing this. But, you know, I don't go into my mental mind, and if I let my mental mind and, you know, my, you know, corporate responsibility to have a show, but, you know, this show might be very different. I might have forced an issue that you guys don't even care about, or that's not relevant to what we're all going through this week, you know. So that's what following the energy means. Now, I'm not saying that it always puts you down to the, you know, the 11th hour or down to the wire by any means, but being able to take regular action based on inspiration is a big key to being open to receive, because often you'll get a download of steps to take. Boom, 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 boom. That's kind of how it works. If you are in a mess about it, and mentally like kind of mechanizing it and running around your head and spinning, and I'll try this and I'll try that and I'll just, you know, you will get in the way of that little download. So very, very important for your capacity to open to receive. So those are the three things: clearing the way with your energetic hygiene, doing it for you based on your own personal worthiness, and taking regular action based on inspiration. Those are the three keys. Now, there's others, but those are the three that we're talking about for today. And I think that will put you in a good space. If you can do those three things, you're going to be really, really ripe for receiving pretty much, you know, everything that you're desiring. Of course, within the realms of divine timing and divine order. So, you know, that is another conversation for another day, because we are going to now take a break. And when we do come back, we're going to start with our readings. So the number to call in, I see there's a lot of you on here tonight. Thank you so much, especially since the announcement went out so late. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you would like to chat about. The number is 347-215-9485. That's 347-215-9485. I'm Mari. You're listening to the Aha Moments radio show, and we'll be right back.
Are you living the life you are really meant to live? Soul Lifetimes magazine is your online source for creating the life you truly desire. When you register for your free subscription at www.soullifetimes.com, you get access to a world of resources that will help you to get the answers you seek and inspire you to take charge of your world. Tap into your body, mind, and spirit with articles from some of the most well-known conscious thought leaders and teachers on metaphysics, soul talk, soulmate relationships, quantum healing, astrology, food for the soul, style, and more. When you join us to create a joyful lifestyle for a new way of being, you truly contribute to raising the consciousness of the world. Subscribe for free at www.soullifetimes.com and never miss an issue of this innovative and insightful digital magazine. Soul Lifetimes magazine is about living happier, healthier lives full of purpose, joy, and abundance. Subscribe now for free at www.soullifetimes.com. We look forward to seeing you there.
Are you at a crossroads in your life, facing big decisions about your life purpose, business, relationships, or other major issues? Are you wondering why you may be delayed in getting what you want? Or if you have special guides who are helping you? Then investing in a private intuitive reading with Mari is just what you need. As a third-generation spiritual intuitive, Mari has worked with thousands of clients over the past 18 years. During your private session, you will learn who your guides are, receive insight on the core issues that need attention, and get new perspective, clarity, and inspiration on what to do next. To register, go to www.ahamomentsinc.com and click on the Work with Mari tab to get all of the details. There are a limited number of spots each month, so go to www.ahamomentsinc.com for yours now.
step back in time to the very beginning, before life as we know it existed. Stones have been on this earth since before the inception of man. They are keepers of ancient wisdom and messages. Tap into the profound wisdom of stones and let your journey begin at the Rock Girl Sacred Stone School. Let the Rock Girl take you back to those ancient days to learn firsthand the language and the secrets of stones. The Rock Girl will teach you how to develop your very own technique of communicating with them, allowing you to embark on your own path of self-discovery. Courses include Reiki, psychic development, chakra balancing and auric cleansing, hands-on healing, and more. Visit sacredstoneschool.com for classes and workshops taught exclusively by the Rock Girl of therockgirl.com.
Hello, we are back. I'm Mari. You're listening to the Aha Moments radio show. And today we are talking all about opening your mind to receive. We're talking about the energetic clearing and the effects of Mercury in retrograde and the new moon and all kinds of stuff. And my producer, Sam, had me in a full-blown laugh attack on the break. Nobody's funnier than Sam. You guys, when you call in, you have to ask him to tell you something funny. He is so funny. I can't breathe. I was just like, how am I going to even bring the show back? Because I told him he's not allowed to do that to me when I only have, we have a 2-minute break. Okay, so I have one more announcement, and then we're going to take the readings. We're going to get started. Again, the number is 347-215-9485. You guys know that I have a book that is coming out on Watkins Books, Watkins Publishing, which is also Random House in the U.S., and that book is called The Aha Factor, and that will be coming out in January of 2016, and a lot of activity and a lot of flurry is going on around the launch, and magazine articles and speaking engagements and various things that I'll be doing around that launch. And we'll be doing a big series of live workshops around the content of that book and the system, the whole system of the Aha Factor. But I also have another book coming out next month, and that is going to be on Kindle and iPad and Barnes & Noble on the Nook system. And that book is called The Self-Love Project. And so that's going to be our focus going into the latter part of the mid to latter part of February. We'll be launching that book. So you start to, I'll be announcing when it will be up on Amazon and all that kind of stuff. I'm in the process of writing it now. And so that will be coming out then. And I'm very excited. We'll be doing a whole series on loving yourself, which is really going to be the follow-up of our open to receive and our clearing to create and all that is, as I was writing the Aha Factor, and I was seeing, well, what does it take for our energetic communication system to really kick in? Like, what's the cornerstone? Like, I kept going, kind of lower and lower and lower into trying to find the core, trying to find the, the basement, the foundation, all of the stuff we talk about, whether it's, channeling or guides or intuition or any of this. And when it all boiled down to, receptivity, manifesting, it all boils down to this core of self-love that we have. And we touched on it a little bit earlier when I was talking about worthiness. But loving yourself is, when people say that, most people are like, oh, God, that's like doing your taxes, It's like, oh, yeah. Okay, I'll get to it. I got it. And most people don't even know what it is. It's like kind of like a Glamour magazine article or a Self magazine article. Okay, self-love, or Oprah talks about the whole self-love thing. But it's really an ongoing personal project, and that's where the name came from, the Self-Love Project. So we're going to be doing a big, workshop series and a live retreat around this whole topic, and you'll start to hear more rumblings about it. I wanted to just, mention it to you now so you start to kind of keep it in the back of your mind, bookmark it. You'll start to see things on Facebook. You'll start to see things on on Twitter and through your email. So make sure you're in our communities on those places, Google Plus, and and I think I'm really looking forward to it. So good stuff, and the guides, of course, are channeling a good chunk of it, and it's really coming in very, very nicely. So I'm excited about that, and I think it'll be very beneficial. It really does affect every aspect of our lives. So that's that. So that's the new book announcements, and now we are ready to take Sam. I see. Okay, you have my list of books here, so we're going to get started. If you have just put us on mute, you're off vacuuming, get next to your phone so you don't miss us when we come by and open up the line to talk. The first caller we have is Anna from Maryland. Hi, Anna. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I enjoyed listening to everything you were explaining about the energy. I guess for me, I started. I guess a lot of hecticness started last September. I fractured my wrist. I needed surgery, and then while I was recovering from that, I just started having issues with my boyfriend, who I broke up with recently. So now with all this stuff going on with the energies, I've been trying to get back into a workout routine because I was always really fit, and I'm just still feeling like a heaviness around me. I'm just wondering what you pick up. I don't know if it's just coincidence. It's all happening at the same time of the retrograde and everything, but I just feel like I can't pull out of it.
Yeah, well, it's hard to get perspective when you're in the midst of the of the retrograde energy. Sometimes it is the energy, and sometimes it's more of a dark night of the soul for you. So I always say that first of all, somewhere your guides are telling me that somewhere in your energy, and you have Archangel Michael around you quite a bit, so he's the protection. And Archangel Raphael.
Always calling on him.
yeah, because he came in right away. He's like, tell her I'm here. I'm like, okay. So he's there. And Archangel Raphael for healing is there for you as well. But Archangel Raphael, what most people don't know about him is he's not only for healing, he's also for romantic relationships and twin flame and soulmate relationships. So that desire to break up with the boyfriend it was actually heaven sent, because there's someone new coming in who's going to be much more appropriate for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Probably another 6 months out. Not that you were asking about that, but it's it's there. And then as far as it feels a little bit like you're going through a mini dark night of the soul. So you're not going through the full blown, which is a dark night of the soul is when you have kind of collapses and 4 different categories, like 4 or more categories. So you have like the basic life categories: money, career, relationship, health, family, so you have various things. So like, 1 year my dad died, my dance partner left, my horse died, my dog died, this kind of thing, my business went crazy, and, the money wasn't there, and blah, blah, blah. So that's the dark night of the soul. When you have all those things happening simultaneously, that's usually a huge jump, from a transformational jump. But it always, remember, transformation is always more like a slingshot than a sunshine. Okay, so people want, they go on Facebook and they see all these little posts. Oh, take the leap! Oh, follow your dreams! Jump off the cliff and fly! You see the bungee jumper over the surf, and ride the wave. And you see the surfer on like the kamikaze wave kind of thing. And I look at these things and I'm like, are you guys nuts? Like, what are you talking about? I mean, it's just you're setting people up to like kill themselves, because transformation is more like a slingshot. When you ask for that big change, you get pulled back, and then you get, boom, flung forward. So, so are you going through an energetic funk? Yeah. But is it because you're clearing out and you ask for a big change somewhere along the way? Yeah. And that's how it shows up first. So you're actually better off than you think you are. I think after about March 12th, Archangel Michael is saying, you're going to see some big changes. And in the meantime, you should join us for the clearing class. It would be it'll be beneficial for everyone in the audience. I'm really, really, really adamant about it, because if you can get some sort of regular habit structures going for yourself, a lot of the things like Mercury in retrograde and, waxing and waning moons don't have the same level of effect because you're already flowing in your own personal zone of cleanliness, and you're not getting that thrown on top of a bunch of gunk, So in the meantime, if you want, you can take hot salt baths. That's an aura cleanse. You can, I highly suggest smudging. These are the very basic things. Walks in nature, very, very good. And, after probably you'll start to feel lighter towards the end of February and definitely into March. You're going to feel much, much better. So I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a great night. Okay. All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye. Okay, so next we have Daisy in Florida. And Sam wasn't sure if your name was Daisy or Stacy, so let me know what your name is. Hello, are you there?
Hello?
Hi.
Yes, I am. Hi.
And is your name Daisy or Stacy?
Stacy.
Stacy with an S, as in Sam. Okay.
Yeah.
He had you as Daisy. Okay, good. Hi, Stacy. What's your question?
Okay. I wanted to know, will I be all right financially? Because it's kind of rocky right now.
Are you in between jobs? There feels like a kind of a upheaval around the workplace.
Yes.
Okay. And have you been looking for temp opportunities?
Yes, I have.
Because it feels like there's going to be something, a temp opportunity that first is going to seem like you're kind of settling. It's going to feel like you're settling, but it's actually a side door to a much bigger permanent opportunity. So it feels like the temp opportunity is going to come by the end of the month, but so within the next 10 to 15 days, and then might be a little delayed, only because of Mercury in retrograde and that kind of thing. But I think it might even push through the retrograde energy. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Normally I wouldn't say that, but they're telling me not to worry about that for you. So somewhere in the next 10 to 15 days, it's very close. Something's very close. And then by late March, early April, I'm feeling that it's going to turn into a permanent opportunity. So I don't think that it feels like you're not out of the woods yet to you, but you're actually closer than you think. So I think it is definitely going to smooth out.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
So good luck with that. Okay. Have a great
Thank
night. All right. Bye-bye. Okay, next we have Kathleen in Massachusetts. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How about yourself?
I'm pretty good. I have a question, and I wanted to know if you saw me meeting the one.
Oh, God.
I've dated a lot through the years. I've been divorced for years, and I want to know if you saw a gentleman coming into my life, and if you had information on a month or a name or what he does for a living or anything. And I don't expect this in a week or two.
Okay, so the name Michael is coming up, and it definitely feels like he's in like construction or some kind of building. I even hear the word plumbing, some kind of building though, something building. It does feel like he's around, but he feels more like a 6 month to, it's saying the number 6, so I would say 6 weeks feels very soon, but it feels more like 6 months.
Okay.
To meeting him. And that's kind of what I'm getting. It feels like there's 2 people, and actually one is a twin. So I don't know what that means, but that's what I'm getting. No, it feels like it's kind of clustering around the same time. But there's definitely one of these guys that would be of high interest for you is a twin. So I think he has either a twin brother or a twin sister. I'm not getting a very clear shot on exactly what that is. But what I would say is stay focused, not on so much, meeting the one, because there's never just the one. It's the person that you're most aligned with now is what's going to show up. So the more you elevate and escalate yourself, the better the guy is that shows up, because he's the guy for you. Water seeks its own level. So you can only attract what you currently are. So the more work you do on yourself, the better guy you're going to get. So I would
I understand that.
To really, really just fine-tune what you've been doing.
Okay, and this twin, do you get a name for that person?
No, and it's not good for me to give you so many names, too, because I think that it just sets you up to look for that, because Mari said, as opposed to following that inspired energy. They'll show up, but the twin part, you'll get in conversation and stuff, when you hear that someone's a twin, pay close attention.
Okay,
so I'm
and you don't have any idea
person.
where I meet Michael or...
I'm not getting specifics on that. No, but I'm going to have to jump on to the next person, so I hope that was information on
I appreciate it.
Put you on the way.
Thank you.
Okay, have a great night. Okay, let's see here. Next we have... Okay. Next we have Suzanne in New York. Hi, Suzanne.
Hi. Hello. Thanks for taking my phone call. I have the same question. Love life.
Uh-oh. Wow. Okay. What is your question about your love life?
Well, I'm going on a blind date Thursday, but I've been talking to the person on the phone for 2 weeks, and I like the person for a long time that I haven't talked to in 4 weeks. Or do you see someone, or what do you see with either one, or...
Okay, wait. Okay, let's back up because you said that really fast. So you have one person you're going on the blind date with that you've been talking to for 2 weeks.
And that's on Thursday. And then I like somebody for a long time, but the last time we talked was 4 weeks ago.
Oh, got it. Okay. So I think that this, so the words that are coming up around the Thursday date is a gentle unfolding, which is a nice one. He has actually... nice energy. He definitely feels like he might feel more friendly-ish for the beginning, and then that's more of like a slow, long burn kind of a person. That's big crescendo, gone with the wind, run across the field and jump into each other's arms kind of connection. It's more of a, okay, let's go to the movies. Okay, let's go to a play. Okay, let's go, bowling or whatever. And then one day it's like, oh, yeah, that chemistry is there. So give that a little bit of, marination time.
Okay.
The other one feels the words that are coming through, and the guy that you want to call in to ask more about this in your own personal journaling and to connect with, when you're not on a 30-second radio show, is Archangel Chamuel. It's Chamuel. And that is the Archangel for twin flames and soulmates. And it feels like what Archangel Chamuel is saying is that you're kind of allowing the guys to dictate what can happen versus your energy leading the way with what you really want. So be more specific about what you really are looking for. And
you mean
it feels
him
to me
or...
like, in general, just with all of them. And as far as the one from the 4 weeks ago, it feels more like he's more casual than what you're looking for. He doesn't feel like he's got that big, in-your-face kind of ready to go down the road of a big relationship, which feels like you do want that big relationship. So I would still continue to be open to receive, the right one, and I think you are doing the right thing by doing your dating and meeting people and just getting used to being around these different guys and seeing what you like. But make sure, and I'm going to have to jump off to the next person now, but make sure that you absolutely get clear that what you want is what matters, not trying to be a chameleon to what you think they might want.
Do you see that other person ever calling back that I haven't talked to in 4 weeks? Or?
You probably will hear from him, but again, he's not really ready for a full-on relationship, so it's going to be kind of stressful to be going up and down the roller coaster with him, but it does feel like you may hear from him at some point. So I'm going to have to jump to the next person, but I hope that's helped a bit, and have a great night. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we have a few minutes left here. I knew that hour is going to go by pretty quickly. Next we have, where are we? Susan in Rhode Island. Hi, Susan.
Right. Thank you for taking my call. And I'm just open to whatever you have to see what you see with the guides.
I need a specific question because we have about a minute left of the show. So can you come up with something specific? I don't just do a general.
My soul is drawn to the west, so I have this yearning to move to the west. Not in the near future, but.
Okay, so what's the question?
So my question is, do you see any information that way of a move?
Well, if you get decisive and if you get clear, I think one of the big turning point for you now, where you're at right now, is to really commit and not be worried that your dreams won't come true. So it feels like you're not committing to exactly what you want because you want to kind of just be open just in case you want something and then you kind of can't get it. So the point there is to get very clear on where you want to live, what you want to do, why you want to go, what's in your heart to really go, and you could definitely get there. Definitely. And it definitely they're saying Arizona-ish, somewhere in that, maybe Nevada, Arizona, maybe parts of California, but the Arizona came in right away, maybe the Sedona area, Flagstaff or something on that line. But more importantly than that is you're feeling pulled because, yes, there is an alignment, but most important, your angels and guides are saying, please, please, please make a decision and get specific on what you desire, and then they'll help you to shape it from there, but they can't give you something that you don't ask for. The asking is trigger, okay? So I hope that helps.
Thank you so much.
To jump off. You are so welcome. Have a great night. Thanks for calling in. Okay, everybody, so we are down to the wire here with our call tonight. Again, if you'd like to join us, and I hope you will really do this class. If there was one class that I'd say every single person needs to take, that's not how I normally am. It's this one. So it's ahamomentsworld.com/clear to create. The coupon code for the first 10 people who register is Energy10. You'll save $50. And I'm very excited about the class. Please join us for sure for that one. It starts next Wednesday. And in the meantime, go easy with Mercury in retrograde. Enjoy the new moon energy tonight. And I think that's it. So we'll see you at the same time next week, same place, same channel. And in the meantime, like I said, my motto is always, at the end of every show, you truly can have exactly what you want. You absolutely deserve it too. And in this energy, anything is possible. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.
You've been listening to the Aha Moments radio show with your host, Mari. Be sure to visit her blog and website at www.ahamomentsinc.com. That's AHA, moments with an S, inc.com. Also join Mari on Facebook at www.facebook.com/ahamomentsinc and Twitter at twitter.com/ahamoments. We can't wait to see you there.